Well, I'm in recovery mode and it was much worse than I thought, but today I'm feeling well enough. We're gonna go ahead and review this 12-string guitar from Vangoa, or is it Vangoa? Welcome back, I'm Tony, and yeah, this is what we're looking at today. It is a 12-string acoustic electric guitar from Vangoa. I say Vangoa. There's people that are like, oh yeah, no, it's Vangoa because that's how it's spelled. But I'm like, they're clearly nodding to the artist, Van Gogh. So I'm just going to say Van Gogh. All right. So Vangoa, Vangoa, whatever. This is a nice acoustic electric. And the price on it is even nicer, $189. Man, I tell you what, I'm still feeling a little bit froggy. If you watched the one video that I was able to get out last week after I got back from Mexico, I was sounding a lot worse because it was only day 2 of COVID. I had no idea it was COVID until my wife works at a hospital. She got it by Friday. And so in order for her to go back to work on Monday, they require a COVID test. She took the test and dang. All right. So that explains a lot about how really crappy I felt over the last few days. But I've been playing this, you know, it's got such a great sound and resonance, and I've been really enjoying it. 12 strings, not super easy to play. We'll get into that when I actually show you the demo on it. Let me tell you a little bit about this guitar. So the listing is $189. It's actually 14% off right now. It says advanced 12-string guitar, full-size 12-string guitar, acoustic electric, 4-band EQ, electroacoustic set for professional, beginner, adults, intermediate, spruce, top, natural, glossy. Really sounds like they're trying to cover all their bases there. I don't know that I would say this is for a beginner. Talk about that as well in the demo. Now, if you're somebody who plays guitar and you're just beginning on a 12-string, I can see that because this does come with everything you're gonna need except for an amplifier if you plan to plug it in. Aside from the guitar, let me show you what else it comes with. All right, so we got the little bag, you open her up, and inside here we do have a little tuner. I've used these tuners, they work good, but this guitar actually has a built-in tuner and that works better. Got a guitar strap, and it's actually a pretty decent guitar strap, like on the previous acoustic that I got from them. Well, got leather on the ends, nylon, basic stuff. You got strings, and well, I've already opened the pack because when I was tuning the guitar up for the first time, I broke one of the strings, one of the accompanying strings, you know, the second set of strings. So I had to pull one out of there, which is nice. I'm glad that that was in there. Got a guitar capo, and this right here is actually a little stick-on pick guard in case you want to put a pick guard on there. I personally prefer it without the pick guard. We got some guitar picks in here, a guitar cable, and a microfiber cloth so that you can wipe down the guitar. And that's that, plus a little bag to keep it all in. So it's pretty full featured. You got everything you're gonna need to get started except for an amp if you want to plug it in. Now I'm surprised that this thing is in such good shape because look at how the box was when I got it. I came home from Mexico and it was delivered to me while I was out, and my neighbor got it, and I looked at the box and said, wow. But it does come in a nice gig bag, and I was pleasantly surprised that there was no damage on it at all. So this is all wood construction featuring a AAA spruce top with solid mahogany back and sides, which really helps with projection on this and some real good tonal depth on it. Of course, you got that 12-string resonance. Octave-tuned bass strings and cathedral-style body resonance create a full organ-like sound. They say ideal for fingerstyle and strumming. Fingerstyle, maybe not so much. Unless you're really used to using a 12-string, it's kind of difficult to pluck both strings. As far as electronics, it does have a full suite of electronics on here. It's got a nice piezo pickup on it, and it's got a tuner, so that's nice. So you can tune it right on the guitar, and I do prefer that over a clip-on tuner because it's going to use the whole body's resonance and the pickup to do that. Battery compartment is right here, so you just put your battery in there and slide it in, you're good to go. They're saying that it is a high resolution piezo, and I would say that it is pretty darn good quality, so yeah, I'd say so. Well, it does sound really good plugged in. The actual unplugged sound is just, it's really very good. It's very rich. I really like the inlays that are on the neck, and the fretwork is actually really good. I have no problems with any high frets or anything like that. I did adjust the truss rod just a little bit, which you'll do right underneath there. I did that so that I could get the action a little bit closer to where I want it. The only problem that I've had with this is the strings that came with it. Okay, so the small G string, as I mentioned when I was showing you that red package, I changed out that string. I had this thing all ready to go. And then I said, let me just do one fine tune before I actually demo this. And well, it broke again. So same string. The first time the little ball broke off and broke down inside the guitar, and I had to get that thing out of there. And then the second time was right before I started this video. It broke right up here at the top. So it's not the guitar, it's the strings. It has a C-shaped Okama neck, and they're using white copper fret wire. And I don't know if you can really see, but they're nicely rounded. There is no, sharp frets or anything like that. And it's supposed to be a humidity tested neck. And then you've got the cutaway body so you can really get up in there, and it's got a radius neck. So it's supposed to reduce the pressure by 30% in that area. And it also has a bone nut and a bone saddle, so that's gonna help you with all of your resonance. So let's go ahead and plug it in, we'll see how it sounds, and then we'll show you unplugged. One thing I would like to point out is it says that it has a 4-band equalizer. It's more like 3-band, and then you've got a presence control on there as well. But yeah, that's great, works really well. All right, so like I said, sometimes I record these things out of sequence, and when I showed you the little red bag with everything that was in it, I did mention that I broke one of the strings, and so I needed to use the string that was in that pack to replace it. Well, that one broke right as I went to record this segment, which I'm actually recording before I do my on-camera talk. I think you understand the point. Unfortunately, the G string, the small string that goes with the G string, it broke on me one time with the ball that was down inside of here, which I had to get that out of there, which is fun to do with an acoustic. And then right as I went to start doing this video to film this, because sometimes I like to film the playing part first, the string broke again, but this time up at the headstock. So it's not the guitar. I think the strings just might not be the best quality. So let's go ahead and get some sounds from this thing. So let's see. I've checked the tuning, obviously, because that's when I broke the string. You can see my settings right there. The treble is at about, 2 o'clock. And the mid is at about 10 o'clock. And the bass I've got right at noon. So let's go ahead and see how that sounds. Oh, the volume, I've got it just about at 1 o'clock right now. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and turn the bass up. We'll just see how that sounds. Get that middle up here just a little bit, the mid-range. So. Now that also, I forgot that I have the presence all the way up on that. Let's just take the presence all the way down. Presence in the middle. And, with presence, probably around 2 o'clock is about where I like it. And then there's this button right here that's phase. So let's see if that phases it at all. Let's see. Now, as far as the plugged-in sounds, they sound fine, but this thing it really, really sings just the acoustic sound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this up a little bit. I'm just gonna put a mic right there on the desk, and we'll just get the room sound with that. Yeah, for me, this thing acoustically really shines, just the room sound. It's got such a nice, powerful sound to it. It is not that easy to play. I don't know, I've played a few 12 strings in my life. I've never owned one myself, but you've got 2 strings that you got to hold down with your fingers, and then you have to pluck 2 strings with this. So sometimes you miss one or something like that, and it takes a little bit more thought. So I found that it's more thoughtful playing. I have to really kind of think about what I'm doing there, but it does sound really good. You get that whole cathedral. Know what I mean? mean, sometimes I'm like, it trips me up a little bit, but that's just because I'm not used to playing a 12 string. All right, got a little bit carried away with that one, but yeah, you know, it's a really great sounding guitar, and dude, for $189, it's really difficult to find something that has the types of materials this does, the electronics that it has. I mean, you know, it's got pretty much everything you're going to need, including all the stuff that comes in that kit. I mean, you got your strap and everything else. So, is this a guitar for beginners? Yeah, maybe. If you've got strong fingers, really. I don't know. If this was the guitar that I started on, I'd probably have some difficulties. It's not a difficult guitar to play as far as action goes and things like that, but there's a lot more to think about. And tuning it, there's a lot more going on with that. It's not as difficult as you might think. You're just going to tune the E, both of them to E. You're going to tune the A, both of them to the A, but you kind of, sometimes you're like, okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you know, that kind of thing. As far as that string breaking, it could just be all user error for that, but it's the same string. The first time the ball broke off, like I said, and the second time it broke off at the headstock. It is the longest of the small strings. So, you know, I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. It's a pretty thin string, so. So any messiness you're hearing right there, that's me. Okay. I mean, you know, when you're doing bar chords, there's a lot going on there. It's a nice wide neck that you got to get all those strings down. So it's, I tend to sound a lot messier on this than I do on a standard acoustic, but that's something that would go away if I were playing it all the time, right? All right, let me get it right next to this mic here. It really does have a really nice sound to it. I have to get another set of strings here, or I got to get another string. We only have one music store here, and I don't even know if they have 12-string guitar strings there. They probably do, but like I say, I was just getting ready to do this video and tuning it up one more time before I sat down to record this portion of it, and decided to record the actual playing part first, and well, that's what we ended up with, is a broken string. So that's it, man. It's the 12-string guitar from Vangoa, and I gotta say, it's really, for 189 bucks, you can't beat it. I mean, it's a very nice and sturdy guitar, and I actually dropped this, and there was no problems at all. I was pretty surprised. I was like, yep, well, there we go. So if you're an absolute beginner, I don't recommend this guitar exactly, because it's gonna be more difficult for you. You wanna get something that's gonna be a little bit easier, encourage you to play. But if you've been playing for a while and you're thinking, I'd really like to have a nice projective acoustic electric 12-string, and I don't have the money to break the bank, well, 189 bucks, man, they got you set. And like I say, this thing is good. It's really pretty. She's a big one though, and it's for me, it's a little bit more comfortable to sit down and play than to stand with it, because I'm just not used to that. I don't play a lot of acoustic guitar. But yeah, Vangoa, you did a good job on this one, and I would recommend it as long as you're not an absolute beginner. So, hey, I want to thank you so much for your support here in the channel. Even when I'm sick, even when I'm out of town, I do appreciate you watching the videos. It means the world to me that you do. Your support is awesome. So what do you think of this guitar? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of it. And if there's something that you're like, you know, Tony, I'd really like to see you review this, put that down in the comments as well. So I'd like to know what you think. And if you're digging what you're seeing, go ahead and give this video a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and a notification bell. If you click both of those, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Either way, I'm just happy that you're here and I'm just so appreciative of you. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.